From the campus of the University of Alabama, live, local news. From Alabama's home team, this is WVUA News at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Daniel Sparkman.
And I'm Tamika Alexander. We start with the very latest on the explosions at today's Boston Marathon.
Reporter Zane Asher joins us now live from Boston with the latest.
And what started off as a day of celebration has turned into carnage after 2 bombs exploded at the finish line of the Boston Marathon. 3 people now dead, one of them an 8-year-old boy. Terror in Boston.
Something just blew up at Run! Go!
2 explosions within seconds of each other near the finish line of the Boston Marathon.
I heard a noise that I've never heard anything as loud as that in my entire life, and felt the ground shake like nothing ever before.
The deadly blasts knocked runners off their feet and triggered mass chaos.
Obviously, there are many people in the crowd who were severely injured, and it was just quite a scene to see something obviously that you never want to see or never imagine you'll see.
Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick called it a horrific day in Boston and is calling on residents to be hyper-vigilant.
And please report suspicious packages or parcels or suspicious activity to local law enforcement.
The investigation is ongoing, involving the FBI along with state and local officials.
We will be working diligently to gather information and gather all the facts and bring those who are responsible for this crime to justice as swiftly as possible.
President Obama also vowed to seek justice and promised Boston would heal.
Boston is a tough and resilient town, so are its people. I'm supremely confident that Bostonians will pull together, take care of each other, and move forward as one proud city.
And the focus is, of course, on tracking down the suspects. So far, though, nobody has been detained. Reporting live in Boston, Zane Asher, back to you.
Thanks so much, Zane. The immediate aftermath of the explosion is leading many across Alabama making phone calls and trying to account for all participants.
And so far, we are unaware of any Alabamians injured. WVUA's Travis Leader joins us now and has been in contact with many local Boston Marathon runners. And you have the very latest for us, Travis?
Yes, thanks, guys. I do have some good news to pass along. I spoke with Birmingham Track Club President Jennifer Andrus, and she says that all runners in the club have been accounted for and are okay. Now, earlier today, I spoke with Birmingham Track Club member Jeff Perry, who finished the race an hour before the explosion, and he gives us perspective of today's tragic events.
Communication became increasingly difficult after the explosion.
We were able to send out some text messages and over Wi-Fi at the hotel. Of course, we were able to post on Facebook that we were okay. But it certainly seems as cell phone communication is difficult, if not impossible at times.
The explosions happened at a place that Perry says is very congested.
Even as the runners finish, it clogs up. You got to actually go through, and they hand out waters, and they give you heat blankets and different things like that, and medals. So the runners kind of clogs up there on the street. But the spectators, all along the course, there's hundreds and hundreds. There's people everywhere.
It came on a day of celebration in Boston, and the marathon is meant to be an event families can peacefully attend and participate in.
Marathons are about personal goals, and they're about good, and it's a happy event, family event. And there were kids, and there were people all over the place. And it's just an absolute shock that someone could do that.
According to Perry, today's tragedy puts a stain on one of the most prestigious marathons in the world.
The atmosphere and the way the race is run and the history and everything of it, it's just the one that everybody wants to run. And so, it is definitely the crown jewel.
Perry says for some runners, it was likely difficult to contact friends and family if they didn't finish the marathon because their personal belongings were supposed to be waiting for them at the finish line. But once again, guys, I want to stress again, the good news that we know so far, even though we have not accounted for everyone yet, we do not know of any injured Alabamians at this time in today's tragic terrorist attack.
All right, thanks, Travis.
We appreciate it. Of course, we'll continue to update this story out of Boston as more information becomes available. Turning now to your home team crime watch. A man is behind bars after putting police on a chase through Tuscaloosa County and opening fire on an officer. It started at a gas station on Skyland Boulevard around 9 o'clock Sunday night. According to Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide Lieutenant Kip Hart, a Tuscaloosa police officer tried to make contact with a suspicious person. The suspect fled in his vehicle. The officer pursued him down Highway 11 to Spring Drive and Church Street. And according to Hart, at some point the suspect fired at the officer, abandoned his vehicle, and fled on foot. This led to a full search for the suspect involving more Tuscaloosa police officers, the Sheriff's Department, K-9, and air units.
Began processing what we found at the scene and developed Leon Sanders as a suspect. We were able to obtain attempted murder warrants and receiving stolen property warrants on him. And around about 5 o'clock this morning, he was taken into custody at his residence.
Leon Sanders is being held in the Tuscaloosa County Jail on $90,000 bond. Hart says Sanders could be facing further charges once the investigation is completed. No one was injured during the incident.
Now an update on the investigation into the death of a Condell teen. 2 men and 1 woman wanted in connection with the shooting death of 17-year-old Matthew Callahan are behind bars. Callahan was fatally shot outside of River Road condos last Tuesday. According to Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide Lieutenant Kip Hart, 18-year-old Keontae Furr was arrested in Savannah, Georgia Sunday morning. Furr will be held there until extradition proceedings allow him to be returned to Tuscaloosa. 24-year-old Timothy Thorne turned himself into authorities in Tuscaloosa Sunday afternoon. Both suspects are charged with capital murder. An eyewitness says he was shocked by what happened.
Very gruesome thing, very scary. Well, it is a freak thing. I've been here for 5 years, and we feel like this is a very safe community.
According to Hart, 20-year-old Shidell Latrice Walker has been charged with murder for her role in the crime and placed in the county jail pending a $75,000 bond.
And in light of these recent shootings and other violence in the area, Tuscaloosa community leaders are banding together to assess the problem of juvenile crime.
WVUA's Emily Forrester takes a look at the problem itself and what local leaders are doing to solve the issue in Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa Police Chief Steve Anderson says in recent years there has been an increase in juvenile crime.
We're arresting a lot of them for felony crimes such as burglaries and breaking into vehicles, and instead of those individuals being placed in the detention center, they're being released back into the communities that they're victimizing.
Tuscaloosa NAACP President Jerry Carter says this is a result of a lack of both community and parental involvement.
The sad thing is we're talking about children, basically babies, 14, 15, 16, that age group.
Carter believes the April 9th murder of Matthew Callahan exemplifies the problem.
You got 2 kids basically charged with capital murder, and then you have a 17-year-old who's been a victim, he's been murdered. I mean, just how much worse does this need to get?
The vice president of Tuscaloosa's NAACP says the punishments don't fit the crimes.
They're hiding behind the fact that they're juveniles and the punishment will be less.
And the city plans to do something about it.
Until we put some teeth in this thing and show these kids that we're serious about putting them behind bars if they're committing crimes, nothing's going to change.
We as a community, if we don't stand up and take a stance and start doing something about it, I mean, who knows who could be next.
In Tuscaloosa, Emily Forrester, WVUA News.
Chief Anderson says to pursue the issue when possible, his department will charge the juveniles as adults and put them in county jail if that's what it takes to get the message across. Well, switching gears to weather, let's get a first check on Alabama's home team forecast.
Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott joins us now. Richard, we had another nice day out there. Is it going to stick around?
Yeah, for a couple of days, Daniel, Tamika, good Monday night to you. It is mild tonight, 72 in Tuscaloosa, upper 60s in Birmingham now, so yeah, getting a little cooler, but overall it still feels really nice across the southeast. Can't beat this type of weather for this time of year. One thing that's going to change, so tomorrow I think we'll see a couple of showers and storms develop with the afternoon heating, much like a summer pattern. We'll deal temperatures in the mid-80s tomorrow. No rain tonight, not much cloud cover. You notice some little bit of cloud cover, some high-level cirrus clouds moving in over the past hour or two, but other than that, we are partly cloudy to mostly clear tonight. Here's that forecast tomorrow for Tuesday. Isolated afternoon storms are possible as things start to heat up. Some of those could become strong, but they should be really isolated. We'll talk more about your forecast plus your weekend outlook. Weather is coming up.
Thanks, Richard. WVUA is covering Sumter County, where today marks 2 years since a tornado touched down in the community of Geiger. On April 15, 2011, an EF3 tornado slammed Geiger with estimated peak winds of around 150 miles an hour. Meteorologists say the tornado cut a path of destruction a mile wide and 10.5 miles long. Several homes and businesses suffered extensive damage. Governor Bentley said it's a miracle everyone survived the Sumter County storm.
For some people, retirement begins the day they can collect. But for one Tuscaloosa lawyer, he's decided to not only practice law into his 90s, but also master another career. WVUA's Molly Mitchell takes us to Rosen's Cattle Ranch to learn more about one ambitious man's accomplishments.
Well, at my age, the first thing I do when I get the paper is look at the obituary. If I'm not there, then it makes my day. And then I turn to the front page, and I thought, oh my God, they put my obituary on the front page.
The paper didn't publish Gordon's obituary. Instead, they recognized that the Alabama Beef Cattle Improvement Association deemed Gordon the 2012 Commercial Producer of the Year. Winning this award takes more than just rounding the cattle on a Polaris.
Keeping good records, genetics, selection, trying to improve the quality of our cattle, and following the proper health protocols.
But when he's not calling cattle, you can find this rancher at his other office.
For 64 years, I've been a lawyer. I enjoy being a lawyer, but sometimes I find that being a cattleman is less stressful and even more enjoyable than being a lawyer.
Mr. Rosen tells me that the reason he's most proud of his 2012 Commercial Producer of the Year award is because of the quality that is found in his cattle.
Of course, we want to make a profit, but our motive is to produce something for the consumer that's healthful and nutritious and enjoyable.
At 91, this award-winning cattleman and lawyer shows no signs of slowing down.
Rather be doing this than chasing a little white ball on the golf course.
In Tuscaloosa County, I'm Molly Mitchell for WVUA News.
And Rosen told Molly jokingly, he said he plans to continue growing his cattle ranch and holding high standards right until his obituary is seen on the front page.
Well, the Birmingham Barons are on the hunt for a good vocalist in the Birmingham metro area. Tomorrow night from 4 until 7, the Barons will be hosting national anthem auditions for the 2013 season at Regents Field. Anyone who wants to showcase their best rendition of the anthem for a chance to sing before a Barons home game this season is welcome. There is no registration fee for the audition, but candidates will need to fill out a registration form before auditioning. Candidates will perform on a first-come, first-served basis at Regents Field.